pick which size pattern you want to use. There's 3 different sizes for as far as how tall the sides will be. I'll start by putting some tape over the pattern on each side of the paper so it's just thick enough to use as a tracing template. These 2 holes you want to do to the size of the rivets you're using. So check which rivets you're going to use and make sure you grab the appropriate hole punch. You're going to cut it out right on the line. That's just to trim the corner off. But these lines are crucial. Get them nice and straight. Then you can just cut this out quickly, just around that general area. So you can make these to fit into a drawer. You can make them just a standalone dish to sit on the counter in a specific measurement somewhere. You can take any measurement and make it into a liner or dish. So I'll get the 2 different measurements, 5 3/4 and 10. So just write those 2 measurements down, and I'll put a picture up of the math. It'll be on the pattern as well, and it's pretty easy to follow. Once you get your measurements and add that distance for the sides, that's all on the pattern, exactly what you need to add for which size corners you're doing. You're going to cut this template out and lay it out so it matches the 2 edges and goes into the corner. I usually like having this side come from the short. Since this is the short side, I'll have it like this instead of like that. And you can just go around the corners like this and move this, but I like to have the 2 ends match, so I'll do one corner like this and flip this over and go to this side. And if you're worried about remembering to do that, the pattern will have the 2 different sides to this, so you can have the 2 different ones mirrored. But you'll line these edges up and then just trace the inside of this. Like so. After you trace the rectangle, the main part, you can just trace them on there right away, or you can cut it out like I did and then trace them on after the fact. But they'll all have that 1/4 inch hole punch out of this groove here. Make sure you're using the right hole punch for the rivets you're going to be using. If you're going to use an edge beveler, you don't have to worry about getting that line off of there. But if you're just going to leave it a cut edge, make sure you're cutting just barely inside of this line you traced. For the sharp corners, you can just cut it straight off like this and then trim them. I like to use a wool dauber on the edges, and then I'll give it just a little spray with this so I don't have like that water line. Just kind of helps that moisture blend out. I like to use canvas quite a bit. I do have burnishers as well. But finish the edges however you want. When you have something that tapers and widens towards the top, you're going to want to take that base measurement across the bottom, but you're also going to want to take a measurement where the top of this is going to rest. So I'll take a template and just tape it or something. And you set this in here like it's going to sit. And then you figure out where the top of this is going to rest. And then you're going to want to measure across that point as well. So you can leave that piece in there if you want, but then you're going to want to measure across where that's going to sit at the top. Take those two numbers and average them out. So you just add those two numbers, divide by 2, and that's the measurement you're going to go off of. Because these dishes tend to want to taper up as well. So if you just go off the base measurement, it won't fit quite as right.